Hey guys, another video for today. We're getting a sneak peek of the Asgard Divide events that are coming in this week. They're starting on Thursday, so can't wait to see what this video is all about. This video will be live on the YouTube official channel for Raid Shadow Legends. Usually what they do, they put this live like 10-15 minutes before we are allowed to put it on live, but mine will be a reaction of the video. And let's give some feedback back to Plarium on what the Asgard Divide is all going to be about. I can't wait to see what the new dungeon, the new event dungeon, will have in store for us. So let's get started.
Hey everyone, it's time for another sneak peek, and this one's going to be special for all you fans of mythology out there. Introducing one of Raid's biggest events, the Asgard Divide. Norse mythology has always been a major source of inspiration for our beloved barbarians, from their appearance to their spiritual home in the kingdom of Frostheim, a land of bitter cold, brave warriors, and ancient secrets. So, to continue that Norse theme, the Asgard Divide event will introduce 4 unique legendary barbarian champions and a time-limited event dungeon with a brand new variable gear set. This event will be massive, and it will be available from August 21st until November 22nd. Right. Plenty of time to explore everything we've got planned. All sounds pretty exciting, right? Let's dive in for a closer look. First up, please give a warm Tolarian welcome to the stars of the Asgard Divide. Meet Loki the Deceiver, Thor Feyhammer, Freya Fateweaver, and Odin Feyfather. Rather than gods, our versions of these characters are Fey. In Teleria, Fae are ancient and powerful spirits that have existed for a very, very long time. We won't focus too much on the lore here, so dive into their champion bios and check out the dedicated event lore for more. Now, for the really juicy information. How do you get these mighty champions? Okay, let's see. We'll start with Loki the Deceiver. You can get this elusive trickster for free during the Loki Chase event. You know the drill here. Simply log in on 7 different days between August 21st and November 22nd to add Loki to your collection. However, you need to have started the Loki Chase by October 24th to get Loki this week.
And that is the big thing here, guys. Getting the 5-star soul for him for just doing things such as campaign dungeons, faction wars, arena clan bosses. This is going to be huge. Loki already looks like a good champion from all the skills that we've been provided, the information we've been provided on his skills. I think he's going to be worthy of just taking him to 60, giving him masteries, and just relatively to other champions we got. The last one we had was okay, but I think this one's just amazing that we get the 5-star soul.
This way. Don't worry about reaching day 7 by that point. You'll still have until November 22nd to get there. Just make sure that you've started the Loki Chase before October 24th. We'll have a dedicated champion spotlight video for Loki where we'll dive into his skills in more detail. But for now, here's a couple of highlights to get you excited. The Chase rewards will continue past day 7 so you can get Loki to level 5 of Awakening, as well as a bunch of other sweet rewards in Phase 2. It works exactly the same as the Adolin Chase. His skills are all about deception and misdirection, placing Veil or Perfect Veil on himself and his allies while manipulating buffs and debuffs. Oh, and he can completely evade enemy skills.
Yeah, the evade will be very
interesting because it's very Loki the Deceiver will be a great addition to your collection for any game mode where you want to mess with enemy buffs, especially in Hydra and PvP battles. But where would Loki be without Thor? This mighty warrior is an all-out attacker, self-buffing himself with increased attack and increased crit damage buffs before unleashing a myriad of AoE attacks on enemies foolish enough to stand against him, and his hammer, Mjolnir. He'll ignore block damage and unkillable buffs and destroy an enemy's resistance stat. He'll be available to summon from shards throughout the...
Okay, so Thor will be available to summon through shards. He's going to be buffing himself with increased attack, increased crit damage. He'll be doing some damage. I think he heals also, and then he can ignore block damage and unkillable, which I think can be very useful for many situations in terms of PvP. Many champions
and he'll remain in the summon pool after the Asgard Divide ends. That applies to all 4 of these champions, by the way. They'll stick around and can be summoned well after the Asgard.
Yeah, so as I said, guys, in my previous video where I posted, these champions will be available to us to summon after the event. Because if you guys think about all the champions we had in Raid so far through, very unique events, the ones that are locked are the ones that relate to also some kind of promotion, like the Xena promotion, the Ronda promotion, the Ninja promotion. Ninja was just came back recently, but again, it was like another promotion, I'm guessing. And we also had the Monster Hunter collaboration. So after those ended, we couldn't summon them because probably was like put into the contract or something before they agreed to do this thing with the other companies, the ones they collaborated with. So this one is just purely their IP, like Raid's IP. They're developing these heroes, so they can do whatever they want, and they want to have them in the summoning pool. So that's how I knew we would have them available. Also, pretty much stated it in the information they gave us. So
Divide event comes to an end. A wise and steady presence on any battlefield, Freya Fate Weaver will be available to summon from shards as soon as the Asgard Divide event starts. No need to wait. Go grab this defensive powerhouse and protect your team with some divine foresight. And no event themed around Norse mythology would be complete without the one-eyed wanderer himself, Odin Freya. This titanic warrior can only be summoned via special summon events during the Asgard Divide, so keep one eye open.
Okay, so this guy specifically, they say can only be summoned through special summoning events. So a 15x event or a guaranteed summoning event. This guy will probably be very strong. I will be giving you guys their skills at the end of this video because they give us an information template with these two champion skills. So Freya's and Odin. So I'll cover that in the end of the video.
One eye? Oh, he'll also be the boss of the new limited time event.
Look at this. He stuns. He places the defense down. We can already see how strong this guy can be. You see the different champions he summoned. I'm not sure if it relates to any of the champions you do summon yourself, but it doesn't look like it. So we see like a Seal of the Drakes. Who else is in there?
And he'll join the...
There's Yakarl here. So it's not the champions that were in the back here, but maybe he summons random champions. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to be summoning different champions as you go up in difficulty, but pretty cool. You see the levels here, 350, pretty high levels, different affinities also for the champion. So it's going to mess up with your affinity.
The regular summon pool once the event dungeon is closed. Event dungeon? I hear you cry. Yes, this is a brand new time-limited dungeon we're introducing with the Asgard Divide.
Okay, let's have a look at the stages and everything. So you see here, you get accessories and you also get gear. I wonder though if it's... Oh my god, look at this, guys. Crit rate, accuracy, curing, days, crit damage, pinpoint. Did they really put in these sets alongside pinpoint just to mess with us? Just so you can get the day set or the curing set through this? Kind of sucks because basically everybody's looking for pinpoint. But I mean, if it drops accessories, it all depends. It's probably going to be random accessories also. This is going to suck so much. Trying to get the pinpoint set, it's going to take you thousands upon thousands of energy.
It works like other dungeons. There's 30 stages with increasing difficulty and sweet rewards that can be earned on each stage.
So it's all void difficulty for the boss, but the adds that he summons, we don't know yet. 5 and 6 star though, as a reward here, stage 30.
Initiating battles will only cost energy, so no special keys, no time or daily limitations, and you can super raid and multi-battle to your heart's content.
Just a normal dungeon.
So grab your 5 best champions and go kick the butt of whoever's boss. By the way, this new expedition won't be limited to just the Asgard Divide. Oh no, we'll be reopening the event dungeon for future large-scale events and introducing new bosses who are...
Yeah, so that's what I mentioned also in my last video, is that the way that they're going to introduce this is through a system of just... This is it. We're going to have the champions as bosses. I think even Hell Hades mentioned it in a video in his past. But basically, we have this system in Watcher of Realms. That's where he got the idea from when he said it in a video. But we also have this in Watcher of Realms where there's a specific section. It's called the Codex, the Immortal Codex. And you fight basically copies of champions alongside specific things that those champions will do. So that's what they're going to be tuning with this event dungeon. I'm guessing the sets are going to be the same, but it could be also that with every new event dungeon rotation, they add a new set in there just to get people to again start farming like crazy for
champions associated with that
chase
event.
The new gear.
I can't wait to show you what we've got cooking. All right, we've talked enough about the
Okay, so here's Odin. Attacks one enemy. Chance to place the Berserk debuff for 2 turns. By the way, this Berserk debuff, what this does is increases your damage dealt to the target that receives the Berserk debuff by 50%. So this debuff cannot be placed on bosses. It's very unfortunate, but it would have been huge if you could place it on bosses. And unfortunately that you cannot place it, but you can place it on ads of the bosses and still do damage. I can place it on enemies. That's going to be huge. So it already makes him so powerful. A2 removes all buffs from all enemies, then decrease defense and a stun. That's
the event dungeon itself. Let's get properly into its first resident.
And then look at this. Look at the A3. Attacks one enemy before attacking, steals all buffs from the target. Damage inflicted by the skill depends on the target's type. So if he's attacking attack based, he's going to do damage based on the enemy's attack. I wonder what the multipliers are going to be here. Defense based on defense, and then HP, support, or bosses going to inflict damage based on the target's max health and also ignoring 100% of the target's defense. This is going to be such a huge damaging skill. I cannot wait to see what this is going to be about. So how is this going to be? How is this going to be in terms of building Odin? If you do manage to get him, you're going to build him with maximum crit damage and 100% crit rate for the skill to do just a lot of damage, because you're going to be hitting the attackers, right? Since this A3 is going to base its damage based on the enemy's attack, I'm guessing the multiplier will be 0 from your own attack, let's say, or your own defense. So it's all about the enemy, and then multiply that by your crit damage. No defense, so it's basically going to be a huge damaging skill, like almost like an instant kill if you have good gear, right? You won't be using savage gear on him. You won't be using lethal. You'll be using just gear that boosts up his damage, or building him as a, you know, very tanky champion.
Odin Freya. He'll rock the same
skills
as
passive,
he'll have
every 9 turns places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. Then a buff spread, taking the effect of that and spreading it around. That
the
can
champion,
be big.
plus all the standard
and then the
boss
remaining
immunities, as well as the
passives,
temporal
these are the normal passives that you have.
Chains and lightning cage blessings. At lower stages, he'll only have level 1 of these blessings, but it'll rise to level 6 at the highest stages. Fear the Fae Father's power.
It's crazy that we're gonna see actual blessings on bosses. They're just taking it to the next level. It's power creep to the next level, but I like I like the difficulty aspect of it. Okay, it just adds another layer of difficulty. Whether this is gonna be insanely difficult, it will be for the first week or so, until strategies start popping up, especially strategies with more free-to-play comps, especially strategies for the lower stages. There's 30 stages, guys. 30 stages for you to find. You don't have to do the highest difficulty, but to get the 5 or 6 star, that's what you're gonna have to do.
Odin can and will constantly remove buffs from his enemies before landing precision strikes with his spear, Gungnir, dealing massive single target damage that'll ignore defenses. Oh, and watch out for the new Berserk debuff Odin can place. It'll increase the champion's damage dealt and damage received. Make sure you read the in-game boss guide before you take on the Fae Father. If you manage to conquer Odin's...
Wait, it's gonna increase your damage dealt and the damage you receive? That's actually huge. I thought it was only damage received. But if it increases your damage dealt, that's actually very sweet. Let me just read again what they gave us. That increases damage inflicted by 50% and damage received. Okay, that is fantastic.
Trial, then you'll receive a suitably awesome reward.
So you see here, you get 2 drops, but this is from the super raid. So he got 1 pinpoint set, 1 5-star crit damage, and no accessories. So the accessories are just going to be a random drop.
You can earn gear for a number of different artifact sets, including a new event dungeon specific variable set called Pinpoint. As the name suggests, it's all about accuracy and speed.
The new set's
all 9 pieces
though.
granting the wearer an additional 60 accuracy and 32% speed. With 4, 6, and 9 pieces of gear equipped, the Pinpoint set also grants the wearer either 1, 2, or a massive 4 stacks of intercept. It's the perfect set for champions that want to hit hard, fast, and without having to worry about any pesky crowd control debuffs like sheep. We've no doubt the Pinpoint will get plenty of usage in Arena and against debuff-heavy bosses in the Doom Tower or Cursed City. Since it's a variable set, you can mix and match it with other artifacts for truly unique combinations. Let your imagination run wild. One last thing about the event dungeon. We'll be launching a dedicated tournament focused on raiding it so you can get even more rewards.
Okay, so they're also going to launch a dedicated event dungeon tournament. As you can see with just bare bone rewards here. Like an immortal soul. I mean, that's nothing, but
the event dungeon will swing open its doors from the beginning of the Asgard Divide right through until October 24th, which also happens to be the cutoff date for starting the Loki
fighting
chase.
the new dungeon.
Handy,
definitely.
Right? And that's everything we've got for you in this sneak peek. The Asgard Divide schedule will be packed, and we hope you're as excited as we are to welcome these Norse-themed champions to Teleria. So sharpen your axes and raise your drinking.
So, the way that they mentioned is we're gonna be able to pick up the new champions, one from daily login, the other two from summons, and then finally Odin through specific summons from voids. What I'm thinking, it's gonna be voids with guaranteed way to pick him up, so it's gonna be like a high price point, like 120 voids or something for Odin, which I think it's I'm just guessing, but I think that's gonna be how they sell this new champion. So let's have a look on the actual skills of Freya first. So she's gonna be a big shielding champion, very similar to Valkyrie if you think about it. Provoke debuff on the A1, shield placed by this champion. If you remove any shields placed by this champion, then the counter attack will happen through the A1 and apply the provoke. The provoke chance is kind of low on a 40% chance when booked. She'll be placing shields with her A2 skill plus an increased defense buff on all allies. The shield will have the strength of her own defense plus each target champion's max HP. So the shield will be proportional, sometimes bigger, sometimes lower on the different champions that you will be applying it. And then the A3 will be a cleanse plus block debuffs plus Terminator fill skill, which I find pretty average. Overall though, she looks very nice with the provoke for the Hydra. For players who don't have a provoker for the Hydra, it's going to be an AoE attack. It's okay. The chance is okay. It's not good, but it's okay. And finally, her passive increases this champion's defense by 5% for each time an ally inflicts a critical hit. Stacks up to 50%. And then her active effect of the passive will basically help you keep your highest crit damage champion alive. It's going to have a big cooldown of 5 turns. It's going to keep them alive by stopping that one hit that would kill them. And they'll be at 1%, 1 health. Actually, then they're gonna get a small heal and get an activated instant turn effect on them, giving them the ability to join in the fight again. It's gonna have a 5-turn cooldown though, so it's gonna be difficult to keep your champions alive just with this skill, that one champion that always dies. So increase ally defense in all battles by 30%. That's the aura. Overall, Freya, I give her what, like I would say a 7 out of 10. Depends on the shield that she provides, but the block debuffs buff on your allies plus the cleanse is very nice. 3 turns cooldown. You can work with this one for the clan boss for affinity friendly teams. And then also Odin will be huge here with the skills that he'll have available. As I've mentioned before, we went through them, but the Berserk is going to be huge when you apply it on enemies. They'll be doing more damage, but also receiving more damage. So that's going to be a risk. But if you apply this on like high defensive champions, you don't care about their damage, but you care about doing a ton of damage on them. And then this is going to be huge for damage potential, but also, I don't know, stealing all buffs. I can totally see that as being a skill that's very useful. And then ignoring all defense and then doing damage on their skills. It just makes me think he's going to be very nice with high crit damage and high accuracy to steal the buffs. You care about doing that on supports. If you don't care about stealing the buffs, you don't really even need accuracy, but you'll probably need it here for the Berserk debuff, which could be fun, could be a ton of fun. Increases void ally speed in arena battles by 40%. That is, wow, that is huge. Void ally speed in arena battles. That is the most unique aura that I've seen for a long time. For Odin, that is so strong. Also, given that you don't really only use void champions, but there's definitely whales out there that will be getting him. This guy, he will be changing the meta. This guy will be changing the meta. This is a very interesting sneak peek, guys. What do you think about it? Let me know down below. And thanks again. Can't wait to see the new patch on Thursday, and also play it on the test server. We'll see on how that works out. Thank you all, guys. I'll see you in the next one.